Hey, Tamaya here with Commit to Co-Parent. Yesterday we talked about scheduling and about how important it is that you are consistent, with the scheduling as far as like having time with your children. So I was looking through my notes and I realized that there were a few things that I left off or that I felt like are worth mentioning. So I still meant what I said about the consistency part of it. However, as far as um, there is an aspect to that where you might have to be a bit flexible. So you still want to be consistent, but be open and willing to be flexible because sometimes, life will require that. An example might be, for instance, depending on what your schedule is, um, one parent might have weekends, for instance. Now, that could that could become an issue, possibly depending on the age of the children. I can give you an example for myself. When my son was much younger, um, his dad's time was the weekends. This when he was really young, but his dad's time was the weekends. So what that meant for me is, yeah, it gave me time to get things done that I need to get done on the weekends. But what it also did was, um, the time that I had with my son was pretty much just work, work and school because during the week it's just school every day and work. So we didn't really have any like downtime, weekend time to do fun activities. So we ended up having to come back to the table and adjust the schedule a little bit. Um, we've adjusted it a few times just based on um, my schedule is pretty set, but his dad's schedule varies, from time to time. So we've gone back to the table a couple of times and adjusted the schedule as we needed to, and you got to be willing to do that. Life happens, things come up, so be willing to come, have a conversation and adjust the schedule if it needs to be adjusted. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about are holidays. Um, it could end up, depending on what the schedule is, one parent could get important holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, maybe New Year's, birthdays, things like that. Be fair. If the majority of those things fall during your schedule, for instance, be willing to offer the other parent maybe one of the holidays or a birthday, or just be willing to be fair about it. You got to don't think about how you feel about the other person, because it's really not about how you feel about them. It's about, once again, it's about your child or your children having time with both of you. And it's also about, just being thoughtful, being considerate of the other person, even if you feel like they don't deserve it. Life isn't always about what we deserve, because if God gave any of us what we deserve, where would we be? So, um, don't think about it from how you feel about it or how you feel about the other person. Just try to be thoughtful and considerate in how you handle each other, how you handle certain situations. Okay, so be willing to maybe give up some of your holidays or your special occasions. Just be willing to be flexible and be willing to come back to the table and adjust the schedule as needed, based on holidays, weekends, and things like that. All right, I'll talk to you later next time.